It was supposed to be a fresh start, our dream house. We moved in right after our wedding, excited to settle into the creaky old place that felt alive with character. But from the moment we crossed the threshold, I felt something was wrong. I'd hear sighs throughout the house, deep and mournful, like someone letting out a long breath of sorrow. At first, I thought it was the old wood settling, or maybe a draft, but the sounds became louder, clearer, and they only came at night. I'd walk down the hall at midnight and hear it, a shuddering exhale that echoed down the stairwell. My husband never seemed to notice, always fast asleep. One night, I traced the sound to a door we hadn't opened since moving in, a small closet near the basement stairs. The door was stiff, as though it hadn't been used in years. I opened it, and the sigh became a low whisper. I couldn't make out the words, but it sounded like a chant, something ancient and desperate. A chill ran through me. The worst part was when I started finding things in the closet, little notes, scrawled in shaky handwriting. Each one seemed like a message, but they never made sense. Just fragments like, "It watches," and "Don't close your eyes." One night, I found a slip of paper that read, "Remember me," signed with a name I didn't recognize. I asked the previous owners, but they were cagey, refusing to say much except that they hadn't used that closet. After a week of hearing the whispers and seeing shadows darting down the hallway, I realized something. It wasn't just the closet that was haunted. The whole house seemed to breathe, waiting for us to leave or join it. We didn't wait to find out what it wanted. We packed up and left, but every now and then, I wake up at night, hearing that sigh echoing through my dreams, like the house never quite let me go.
The house was a steal. That's what the real estate agent said. And I had to agree. 5 bedrooms, a big backyard, even a fireplace. It was the dream home. Or so we thought. But it came with a history. One we weren't prepared to understand. It started with voices, whispers coming through the walls. So faint I thought I was imagining it. My husband didn't hear them, so I tried to ignore it, chalking it up to an old house with thin walls. But then I started hearing laughter. A child's laughter. The first time. It was around midnight, echoing through the empty rooms. It wasn't playful or innocent. It was mocking, like it knew something I didn't. I decided to check the walls, convinced there must be some logical explanation. That's when I found the little crawl space in the basement, covered in dust and cobwebs. I crawled inside, and the smell hit me. Damp earth, mold, and something rotting. I tried to back out, but then I heard it again. That laughter right behind me. I turned, flashlight shaking, and saw nothing. But the laughter continued, filling the narrow space, coming from the walls, as if they were alive, hiding some dark secret. That's when I noticed the writing on the walls, scratched in small, jagged letters. "Don't let them in," over and over. A desperate message left by someone who had been here before. I ran, scrambling out of the crawl space, my hands covered in dust and something else. Something sticky. That night, the laughter came closer, just outside our bedroom door. We moved out the next day. I swear sometimes I still hear it. That mocking laughter echoing through the walls wherever I go.
It was a beautiful, sprawling house on the edge of a quiet suburb, with white shutters and a lovely little attic. My partner and I were ecstatic it was our first home together. But there was one odd thing. A door in the attic that led to a room that didn't appear on the blueprints. It was a tiny room, with wallpaper peeling away to reveal strange stains beneath, like rusty handprints. There was nothing in the room except a single rocking chair, facing the corner, as if whoever sat there wanted to hide. We laughed it off at first, joking about its creepy vibe, but I couldn't shake the feeling that it was watching us. At night, I'd hear the floor creaking in that room. I tried to convince myself it was an animal, maybe a squirrel in the attic, But one night, I went up to check and found the chair rocking slowly, back and forth, facing the door this time, as if it had been waiting for me. I was paralyzed with fear. The next day, I asked around the neighborhood, and one elderly neighbor told me the house had a tragic history. Apparently, a previous owner had lost a child who was often sent to the naughty room, that strange little attic space, as punishment. She said the child's spirit still lingered, always facing the corner, still waiting for permission to leave. After that, things got worse. Doors would slam on their own, and the house filled with the smell of sour milk. I woke one night to see the child's face, faintly reflected in the mirror, watching me. My partner said I was imagining things, but I could feel a small, cold hand gripping my wrist whenever I was alone. We moved out after only 3 months, but the bruises on my wrist took longer to heal. Even now, I can't stand to look at rocking chairs or attics. I'll never forget that cold, empty room that seemed to swallow light, or the feeling that it was always waiting, always watching.